had a tumor in my right breast that had been there about 20 years, and it's been benign, but nonetheless, it doesn't need to be in my body. And Kimberly removed the tumor within 3 minutes of a hands-on treatment. Interestingly, I had an appointment with the doctor a few days later. That was about 5 or 6 days after the healing. So sure enough, she couldn't find it, and she was puzzled, and she told me that it wasn't there anymore, and I told her why, and then she printed a couple ultrasounds to show me, and I was able to keep one of where it used to be in the photo. So that was amazing, and I knew it was gone. I had felt it before and after the healing, and I look forward to more and more. My experience with Kimberly is off the charts amazing. I've had a lot of different healings. I also had become stronger in my faith, which is the reason why this tumor of 20 years or longer that it's been living in my body, that it was able to leave so quickly, because I was very much a part of the praying, and which is a big part of the work and the healing trilogy is. So Kimberly's gifts from God, universe, almighty are off the charts. Super powerful, and I'm beyond grateful to have lots of healings from her, and will continue to. Thanks.
And she did actually she didn't even have to work on my knee. I have a recurring knee problem, and it had gone away by the time she was even done with my neck.
So she's worked with you before?
She's worked with me before. The first time I ever met her months ago, she did a body scan, and she started with my head, and she said, "There's something with your head. What's wrong with your head?" And I said, "There's nothing that I'm aware of. I had a concussion from a car accident, but that was a year ago. Nothing that I'm aware of." She works her way through my body. Bad knee. Her eye starts going off, and it works, bad knee means bad hip, bad back. So she asked if she could do the healing on my knee. She did the healing on my knee, and without my permission, she did my head, which was fine. I didn't have a problem with it, and she apologized as soon as we were done. And she said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go to your head, but my spirit guide said you were going to go deaf if I didn't work on you." I had a sinus infection I'd forgotten about. While I was flying back from Christmas, it had traveled up into my eustachian tubes from the pressure on the plane. I had just gotten so used to it, I didn't think of it as a problem any longer, and it went away after she did the healing.
So you would say that she scans your whole body and sees everything?
Yes, she scans the body. Her left eye means everything's good, everything's healthy. Her right eye means, not so much, something's going on. And she knows. She knew I'd had surgery about 20 years prior, 15 years prior.
Any closing thoughts?
She's wonderful. She's changed my life.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have a wonderful experience with Kimberly in one of her healings. In one of her healings, she first started scanning my body. First it started with my head, and then she went to my neck, and she found a dark energy in my neck. Then she went down to my stomach. When she went down to my stomach, she placed her hand on my stomach and pressed. And when she pressed, she asked me if I feel something. Without telling her, I told her I was having pain. And that night, she asked me if I want to be healed, because she told me there is a dark energy in my stomach. And she found 2 abdominal hernias in my stomach. And she asked me if I want to be healed, and I told her yes. And she started to heal. She started praying. And when she started praying, and when she was doing the healing, and I felt the Holy Spirit, I felt how my body, it was trembling, it was shaking. And then I started feeling chills. And since that time, the pain I was experiencing is gone. And that was a wonderful experience. And I really appreciate all the healing she has done to me. Thank you very much, Kimberly, for changing my life. And thank you so much.
When I came in for healing, I had a history of thyroid issues. My thyroid felt swollen to me, and Meredith sensed that there was something going on around my neck and my heart, and she did a release, and at this point my neck does not feel swollen, and my chest feels a lot lighter. So I really appreciated the healing. I thought it was great, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. Pretty relaxed and happy.
I went to the workshop or the group just with an open mind to see what I was going to experience. And never did I think that I would experience what I saw today. It was extremely powerful, life-changing. I will not be the same after experiencing all the power and the energy that she brought into the group. And I never talked to her. I didn't know her. And she was able to see that I had a thyroid issue. And I thought she would see other people, but she wouldn't see mine because I was healthy, and I forgot that thyroid issue, and I just ordered thyroid medication, actually. And she went on top, and she prayed, and I believed. And so now I'm going to go get my thyroid tested. Probably won't need that medication anymore. I would recommend Kimberly to my friends and other people.
People talk about faith and belief all the time. Some people have it and some people don't. So Kimberly Meredith has actually championed the way to faith and belief and the things that it can accomplish. So if you want to know a real practical way to help people straighten themselves out, to be well, to be 100%, to be what they can be, then faith and belief is the way, and Kimberly Meredith helps lead that way. So go see her and you'll be happy you did.
Kimberly was, so to say, scanning all of the guests present in the room by putting her heads on people's heads and foreheads, and she was she blinks with her eyes, and she was going from head to head, and then when it was my turn, she was behind me, and she was touching my head, and she said she actually came twice. She left me for a few seconds. She went to the next one, and then she came back, and she said, "What's going on here?" And then I said, "Yeah, I'm a little ill." And she said, "You're the first one. Come on over." She asked me to take off my shoes, and I lay down on the bed, and then she asked me to start breathing. I started doing some very deep breathing continuously, and then she asked me to repeat I am loved. Something else I don't remember at the moment, but I was continuing to do this deep breathing, and then she used some oils, and while she was going through my throat, and but actually before that she scanned my entire body, and she said, okay, so in this area on my left side of my throat, she said, something is going on here. And I said, I have a sore throat. And she said, yes. And then she went down on my right side of my belly, and she said, there is an energy here that hasn't been released, and something happened here. Did you have a surgery? She asked me. And I said, yes, my appendix was removed when I was about 10 years old. And she said, yes. and then she went down to my ankles, and she touched my right foot, and she said something here is wrong, and she asked me. I twisted my ankle a couple of times, and I told her, but it came to my mind afterwards, after all the the session was done and everything. I haven't told her yet that actually I was born with my right foot was slightly
Off center.
yeah, off center, so I had to wear a cast for a few months when I was when I was 3 to 4 months old, and for a few months, so to bring it back to its normal position.
Right.
So she felt something was wrong still with my foot. There was an energy that hadn't been released, and so she went through her healing session. She put an oil here and here, and then in the meantime I kept on doing my breathing, and I felt something was changing, and then when she was done, my sore throat was gone, was magically gone, was healed. I wasn't feeling any pain when I was swallowing. I was doing my my breathing, and I was repeating, I am loved, I am
Light.
I'm light, I am love, and then she touched me in this area, and she said, you are now healed, and she healed me with the power of God, and I felt a sudden release of all this sore throat pain, and it was all of a sudden it was gone. And
when you say all of a sudden, was it like a shock, or was it?
It was.
How would you describe it?
Well, I didn't realize right away that it was gone, that I was healed, because I was in a very deep state of meditation, and I wouldn't say that I was how to say it. Well, I was like meditating. I was in a very deep state. I wouldn't say I was hypnotized, but I'm not sure, because it's something I've never felt before, and what happened afterwards was even more interesting for me, because when she told me to go back to my seat, I was still breathing very deeply, and I couldn't stop it. So I remember I was on my seat, and my arms started to tingle, and this tingling you normally feel was like 100 times more powerful.
Well,
and,
like if your hand has gone dead or something, and that tingling.
But the tingling, like there was a flow of energy coming, and it was really, really intense. It was very powerful. So I felt all this energy coming through my arms and my hands, and it was like I was seeing all this energy coming through my arms, and it was so powerful. It was an enormous amount of energy being released, coming through my arms, and this tingling, that it was very, very intense, and and I couldn't stop it. I couldn't stop breathing deeply. I was breathing like this for about 20 minutes afterwards, and I couldn't stop it. The energy was coming, and I was feeling my arms, this flow. It was a constant flow through my arms, and I couldn't stop that. It was very, very intense. It's very interesting how my throat was healed, because I had a very sore throat for quite a few days, and I had a bad cold, and I didn't want to take any medication, any chemicals. I was trying to take only some natural medicines. I went there with a sore throat, and what I know is I left with a perfectly healthy and healed, and that was really very, very magical. Kimberly, she has a very beautiful gift. She's very talented, and she knows how to use this gift. I'm so grateful that I was picked by her, and I could experience this. It's very important to make this very deep breathing, and go there with a open-minded and a very relaxed way. Follow all her instructions, and relax as much as you can, and she will do the rest.
Okay, any final thought?
Any final thought? She said that her dream is to open a hospital for non-profit, and I think this is a fantastic idea. It's very exciting. I really hope she can accomplish this dream and implement it, and I really hope the society will open up more to this type of healings, and become more open-minded, and start accepting alternative method of healing, because they're very effective, they're very powerful, and I think they're much healthier than taking drugs, filling your body with chemicals. You're being healed right away with the power of God, and in a matter of minutes.
Hi, I'm Victoria, and I was experiencing a difficult experience of my throat becoming paralyzed, my tongue becoming paralyzed, and protruding out of my mouth, swollen and jabbing and gnawing in and out for mysterious reasons, but I did feel like I had a dark energy in me. And when Kimberly worked on me and led me to God's energy, God's love, God's light, and I prayed that the Holy Spirit enter me, my tongue was healed, and I could feel it. The swelling went down, and my tongue started to go back into my mouth, and I could talk again. And before that, I could hardly say a word. And I'm so grateful for this experience that she has given me, that she has been a part of God's work. And it means so much to me to be able to walk around knowing that my throat, my tongue is healed. I can talk freely and not have to worry about this happening to me and me becoming paralyzed. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Leslie Silverman. I've been coming to Kimberly for a couple of years. I had 3 calcium deposits on the right side of my neck, which are, through her hands-on healing, are completely gone. I am so grateful for her, and I thank her, and through the grace of God and faith, they are all gone. Thank you, Kimberly.
My experience was I've always been very spiritual, not religious. I was never Catholic. I was raised Baptist, and I didn't believe any of that, so I kind of turned to Hindu and Buddhism. A long time ago, when I went to AA, I don't know, I felt like I had a demon, a demon on my shoulder or behind me. And I went to a psychic, and she told me that I didn't need to go to AA, I had a demon. And that was 25 years ago. And I think I wrestled with it my whole life. I didn't really believe that I had that demon, but every time I would make some spiritual advancement, I decide I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this. I don't want to pray, blah, blah, blah. And today I actually felt it leave me. She was working over here on the side of my neck, but I'd seen and felt this dark, it looked green, dark green energy, and it went out that way. In my mind, I don't know if I physically saw it or if it was in my mind, but it went out. And the only thing I can add to that is I don't usually ever wear jewelry. I don't buy jewelry. I was in the medical field and never wore my rings, wedding rings, nothing. And I know nothing about Catholic. I'd never said Hail Mary in my whole life. And she was telling me to say that, and I was saying it. But I went out and I bought this necklace on eBay that I don't even get on eBay. I don't buy anything, much less spend $350 for jewelry. I mean, I don't do it. And I bought it, and it's Padre Pio. And I just had that real urge to buy that necklace, and I don't know why. Because, like I said, I don't like jewelry, but I did read up about him a little bit, and he did exorcisms. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not.
So to sum up in a nutshell, Kimberly did an exorcism on you?
Yes, I asked her that afterwards, point blank. Yeah. Did she do an exorcism on me? Because I felt it. But I thought, well, maybe no, but she told me she did do an exorcism on me, so.
And you felt it?
I felt it leave. I felt dark green, something leave me. She said she did do an exorcism on me. I would really recommend anyone that's having any kind of a problem or not, go see Kimberly, because she can help you. One way or the other, she will help you.
Well, my experience was when I came in, I was, you know, a bit shy. Obviously, you're going to be a little bit shy, but I had to just kind of let go and just let it and believe that it was going to work. You know, and I'm very open-minded to this kind of stuff anyway. So I've had other healings before, and I haven't had a healing in a really long time. And I had a friend refer me to her, and I just feel better. Like the swelling has gone down in my neck. I've had like 3 colds this year, and I've just been like emotionally not well and everything else. So I feel better. I feel more awake. If that makes any sense. I feel like, I don't know, more coherent, more, like I just feel more awake. My hands were tingling, and I felt just kind of cool, like kind of like it was like kind of sweaty and kind of cool. And I could just feel, I just felt like a presence, like I felt like the Lord was there or something. Like I felt like there was, like I had to just let it go. Like I had to let it come into me and heal me, because I haven't, like I said, I haven't really done that in a long time, and I really need it. So that's why I decided to come today.
When I was oming, I noticed a hazy, roundish, purple, bright purple, like a deep purple light. And I also noticed like a pinprick of white light in the middle of that. I noticed a lot of pressure in the very middle of my forehead, and also, not during the whole time, but in and out, my eyes underneath my eyelids were fluttering and like shaking. In my experience, Kimberly is able to harness the universal energy of love, which men have called God, and she brings it in through her body and through her hands, helps our chakras to open enough so that we may receive some of it as well.
So you feel the Holy Spirit moving through her and then into you?
Yes.
Wow. Nothing short of a miracle, huh?
Truly a miracle, yes. Yes. And what, even more so than any kind of like physical sensation, my heart is frequently overwhelmed with love and gratitude and togetherness. And I'm moved to the point of tears.
I am a Reiki master as well, and I read up on her information before I did attend the Karma Fest Festival in Oregon Ridge. And when I did attend her class at the time, being that sensitive to the spirit, I could surely, what she was doing in the class at the time on the clients was manifested pretty strong. It was such a phenomenal time in that class of healings, and so then I anticipated moving forward in my thoughts of feeling really comfortable with Kimberly. She's in the spiritual realm, you know, and she utilizes all of her godly giving gifts. I felt such an excitement after I got home that I did have to take that other session and come back and visit her. And while I was in there today, I felt the healings. You just have to be there to experience it. And I would suggest going. I did have some physical ailments that I actually felt a difference when I walked out of the room and had completed my session with Kimberly. I'm excited, and I'm sure we'll be looking forward to seeing each other perhaps maybe in the future. It's almost breathtaking if you've ever sensed any type of feelings in the spiritual realm. Again, believe in that holistic theory and all those type of modalities as well, and have experienced them. It's just such bliss. It's heavenly bliss. There's such a high energy taking place in your body. You really can't talk. You just feel the excitement of something that's actually taking place. At my point, it was healing my body. I felt such an energy in my hands as I was holding the rocks that at the end my hands couldn't stop shaking. It was the Holy Spirit. I will acknowledge that. I'm so thankful, and I know this works. You do have to have faith, and if you don't, then you can gain it. by coming in and having a session, perhaps. Oh, the power goes right through her. Well, I feel like I'm lit up.
She worked on my leg, a pain that I've had for a while, and I could feel it moving. It went down into my ankle and kind of went out my foot. Also my abdomen. It was a pain that I knew I had. It was like a lump, and it's flattened out. You know, if I touch it now, it's flattened out from a surgery that I had. And I can tell that it's totally different. And she sort of moved my intestines around.
Wow.
And I could feel that too. And it actually feels pretty good. Everything feels a lot better. She also moved some energy in my neck on the left side, and that I could feel that went out pretty quickly too. And I could just feel the love and caring, and it's the spirit in her. It's amazing. I just feel very blessed to have had some time with her.
My experience was amazing with Kimberly. I didn't really know what to expect, but I went in there just with an open heart, and I feel completely different. I feel like my heart is open. I feel like all of my chakras are balanced and aligned, and I feel like especially my crown chakra feels so wide open, and just I feel this huge connection to God and with all of my guides and you know, and my people that are with me, my entourage I call them. So it was really just but at the same time I feel very grounded, but it was really and even my body feels completely, on a physical level, my body feels completely different. My stomach was really stirred up and swollen, and it's now feeling less swollen and I feel anxious anymore. So it was such a positive experience.
My healing experience was awesome. I went in feeling really run down and just tired, and I came out feeling light, just marvelous. I can't explain it. I just feel totally enlightened, full of light, just like a whole new person.
This all came about from working with Kimberly?
Yes, from working with Kimberly. She helped me with a couple of health issues that I had, and found them and cleaned them up, and we got rid of them, and I feel marvelous.
What was it like experiencing how she brings the Holy Spirit down through her body and puts it into your body?
It was the most powerful thing I've ever experienced in my life. My whole body was just shaking, vibrating with energy. It was an awesome feeling. I was just like vibrating. I could just feel it through me. It was awesome.
That would mean you would take a healing from her again.
Yes, I would.
Any closing thoughts?
I would say if you need to be healed or if you have any issues you need to work through, I would definitely see Kimberly because she's amazing.
In times when we don't know